The night was a tapestry of shadows, woven with the silken threads of moonlight that filtered through the dense canopy of the forest. I had always been drawn to the woods, their enigmatic allure a siren call that I could never resist. But tonight the air was different, charged with an electric tension that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. The usual symphony of nocturnal creatures was absent, replaced by an eerie silence that seemed to press against my eardrums. I should have turned back, should have heeded the primal warning that screamed in the recesses of my mind. But curiosity, that insidious temptress, had me in her thrall. I ventured deeper, my boots crunching softly against the forest floor. The trees seemed to close in around me, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. And then I saw it. A faint, pulsating glow emanating from a clearing ahead. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat a deafening drum roll in the stillness. I approached cautiously, my breath coming in shallow gasps. The glow intensified as I drew nearer, casting an otherworldly light that bathed the clearing in an ethereal luminescence. At the center of the clearing stood a figure, her silhouette both alien and familiar. She was tall, her form lithe and powerful, with a presence that commanded the very air around her. Her skin was a shade of silver that seemed to absorb the moonlight, and her eyes, those eyes, were like twin galaxies, swirling with stars and secrets. She was clad in a suit that appeared to be made of liquid metal, shifting and flowing with her every movement. But it was the aura of raw, untamed power that radiated from her that held me spellbound. I froze, my mind racing to make sense of what I was seeing. She turned her head slowly, her gaze locking onto mine. In that moment, I felt as though she could see into the very depths of my soul, unraveling the threads of my existence with a single glance. And then she spoke, her voice a melodic resonance that seemed to vibrate through my very being. "You should not be here," she said, her tone both a warning and an invitation. I opened my mouth to respond, but no words came. My throat was dry, my tongue leaden. She took a step toward me, her movements fluid and predatory. I should have run, should have fled from this creature who was clearly not of this world. But I was rooted to the spot, my body betraying my mind's desperate pleas for escape. She stopped mere inches from me, her breath warm against my skin. I could feel the heat radiating from her, a primal energy that set my nerves on fire. Her eyes bore into mine, and I felt a strange pull, as though she was drawing me into her, binding me to her in some inexplicable way. And then it happened. A searing pain shot through my chest, as though my very soul was being torn asunder. I gasped, clutching at my heart as I fell to my knees. The world around me blurred, the edges of reality fraying as I was consumed by a maelstrom of sensations. Images flashed before my eyes, visions of distant worlds, of battles fought and lost, of a bond that transcended time and space. And through it all, I felt her presence, a constant, unyielding force that anchored me amidst the chaos. When the pain finally subsided, I found myself lying on the forest floor, the alien girl crouched beside me. Her expression was unreadable, but there was a flicker of something in her eyes. Regret, perhaps, or maybe even fear. What did you do to me?" I managed to croak, my voice barely above a whisper. She hesitated, her gaze flickering to the glowing mark that now adorned my chest, a symbol that pulsed with the same otherworldly light as her suit. "I have bonded with you," she said, her voice tinged with a sadness that sent a chill down my spine. "It was not my intention, but the bond is irreversible. Our fates are now intertwined." I stared at her, my mind struggling to comprehend the enormity of what she had just said. "Bonded, what does that mean?" She rose to her feet, her form towering over me. "It means that we are now one, bound by a connection that transcends the physical realm. My strengths are now yours, as are my weaknesses. And you, in turn, have become a part of me." I shook my head, the weight of her words pressing down on me like a leaden blanket. No, this can't be happening. This isn't real." She reached down, her hand brushing against my cheek in a gesture that was both tender and possessive. "It is real, and there is no escaping it. The bond is eternal, unbreakable. You are mine and I am yours. I felt a surge of anger, a desperate need to reject this fate that had been thrust upon me. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. Her eyes hardened, the galaxies within them swirling with a fierce intensity. Neither did I. But the bond does not discriminate. It chooses, and it has chosen us. I pushed myself to my feet, my legs trembling beneath me. Then undo it, break the bond. She shook her head, a sad smile playing on her lips. There is no breaking the bond. It is a part of us now, as intrinsic as the blood that flows through our veins. I turned away from her, my mind a whirlwind of emotions. Fear, anger, confusion, they all warred within me, each vying for dominance. But beneath it all, there was a strange sense of belonging, as though a piece of me that had been missing had finally been found. I looked back at her, my resolve hardening. If this bond is real, then tell me who you are. What are you? She regarded me for a moment, her expression unreadable. Then she nodded as though coming to a decision. I am Lyra, of the Lupari. We are a race of warriors, bound to the moon and the stars. Our kind has existed for millennia, our powers passed down through the bloodlines. But we are also hunted, our existence a threat to those who fear what they cannot understand. I frowned, trying to piece together the fragments of her story. And you? Why are you here? Her gaze darkened, the stars in her eyes dimming. I was sent here on a mission to retrieve an artifact that was stolen from my people. But I was betrayed, ambushed by those who seek to destroy us. I was wounded, my powers weakened. And then, I found you. I felt a chill run down my spine. And the bond? What does it mean for us? She stepped closer, her presence overwhelming. It means that we are now bound by a destiny that neither of us can escape. Together, we will face the challenges that lie ahead. Together, we will fight for our survival. I swallowed hard, the weight of her words settling over me like a shroud. And if I refuse? If I don't want any part of this? Her eyes bore into mine, the intensity of her gaze leaving no room for doubt. You cannot refuse. The bond has chosen us and there is no turning back. You are a part of me now, as I am a part of you. Our fates are intertwined and together, we will either rise or fall. I felt a surge of defiance, a desperate need to reclaim some semblance of control. And what if I don't believe in fate? What if I choose to walk away? She smiled, a predatory grin that sent a shiver down my spine. Then you will learn the hard way that the bond cannot be denied. It will pull you back, no matter how far you run. And when it does, you will find that the consequences of resisting are far more painful than embracing it. I stared at her, my mind reeling. This couldn't be real. This had to be some kind of nightmare, a hallucination brought on by exhaustion or stress. But the mark on my chest pulsed with a steady rhythm, a constant reminder that this was all too real. I took a deep breath, trying to steady my racing heart. So what now? What do we do? She reached out, her hand brushing against mine. The contact sent a jolt of energy through me, a connection that was both exhilarating and terrifying. Now, we fight. We fight for our survival, for our future, and we do it together. I looked into her eyes, the galaxies within them swirling with a fierce determination. And in that moment, I knew that there was no turning back. The bond had chosen us, and whether I liked it or not, my fate was now irrevocably tied to hers. The night stretched on, the forest alive with the sounds of our shared destiny, and as we stood there, bound by a connection that defied explanation, I knew that my life would never be the same. I had accidentally bonded with an alien werewolf girl, and together, we would face a future that was as uncertain as it was inevitable. But one thing was certain: our journey was just beginning.